Hello, I'm Shy, or Shhyonara. We're doing another Pokemon tier list. Today it's going to be Johto Generation 2. I think there's a lot of really cute and unique designs this generation. However, there's a lot of ones I'm kind of indifferent to. There's a lot of average ones. There's not too many that I really hate, but I'm sure we'll get into it. We'll start off with the starters. I think Chikorita is an interesting evolution line. I think she's really cute and underrated, but I do think she's still like a C tier overall. She's like a little grass type baby dinosaur thing, and I respect her. Yeah, she's just the weakest of the starters, I can't lie. Cyndaquil is really cute. I love Cyndaquil's design. I think it's better than Charmander. It's like a little, echidna or a fire shrew. It's like I don't know, really cute. It's like a better sand shrew as well. Unfortunately, the evolution for them not as good, but I think Bayleaf can go into B tier. I think it's a good design, and then it more exposes itself as a sauropod, like a Brontosaurus or something. But yeah, Meganium, it's just not like a great one. I think every time I play Gen 2, I'll always pick Cyndaquil. I also don't think there's many cool fire types in this generation, or do we have like Slugma or something? But yeah, Quilava can go into B as well. It can go like top of B, I suppose, and then Typhlosion can go top of C. I think that makes sense to me. I still like these mons, but not like I don't feel too strongly about them. As for Totodile and its evolutions, was it Croconaw and Feraligatr? I think Totodile is really cute, honestly. I wouldn't take it personally, but I do think like a water crocodile is really cute. And the design is really good, It's like a dramatic duel because crocodiles use their bite as their strongest attack. I think it's a good design. However, Croconaw and Feraligatr, I really don't like them. They're just weird looking. Definitely worse than Venusaur and Blastoise from Gen 1. Definitely not into them. But some people probably like them a lot. But yeah, I just think this starter line, I would always choose Cyndaquil. Typhlosion and Quilava are fine. I'm not too strongly for or against them. So the normal type, Sentret and Ferret. I actually really like Ferret's design. What is it, like a little ferret and a start? I don't know, it's just a long boy. It's very cute. I love its little face, if I'm honest. It's adorable. But yeah, Sentret, what is it? I don't know, it's a little less cute. It could be B still. I might have to reevaluate. But yeah, just like a weird flying squirrel with its giant comically large tail. It's cute, I don't know what else to say about it. Hoot Hoot is, I really like the concept of Hoot Hoot. It's got little clock eyebrows, and I think that's adorable. It's like a Noctowl thing. I think it has one leg, which I've only really noticed. I've never paid attention to it only having one leg before. But I'm sure that's a reference to some sort of folklore that I'm familiar with. Noctowl, however, is lower on the B end. I still think design-wise, it's really good. Nocturnal owl, it's it looks very sophisticated and wise, and I feel like owls often are depicted as such. And the design's really strong. Yeah, this might be B tier. We'll go back and look at Sentret as I progress. Okay, Ladybug. I've never been too strong on the designs of bug types, and Ladybug is no exception. It's just D tier for me. I think it's fine. It's like a weird Ladybug with weird, I quite like Ladybugs, but this depiction of it is like a superhero one, and I really don't like Ladybug or Ladian. I also think their names are kind of confusing. Maybe I just don't have, I've never used them in a playthrough, so I don't have too strong an opinion. Spinarak. I actually like Spinarak. I'm surprised that I like the bug types as much as I do. Spinarak and Ariados. I'm not sure on how to pronounce that, but yeah, these are cute designs for bug types, little spiders. I kind of hate spiders in real life, but this one has a cute little emoji on its back. It's cool. That being said, I can't really put it above C. I am just sort of indifferent to it. I would never use these in a playthrough. Crobat, I think, is really cool. It's only B tier for me, but I do think, like, in comparison to Zubat and Golbat, it's a really good evolution. I would definitely use this in a playthrough, especially if I didn't have other flying types that I liked. I think Crobat is a friendship evolution, which I'm not into, but still pretty cool. Okay, Chinchou and Lantern. I really like these designs. Especially Chinchou looks like really cute. It's like an adorable little anglerfish, an electric anglerfish that evolves into like an almost dolphin one. And I like how friendly they look. Anglerfishes are usually very ugly and scary looking, and they make it cute. It's adorable. Yeah, I like these two a lot. I do think that a future electric type Mareep is one of my favorites. I would always happily use these in a playthrough. Next up, we have Pichu and the two other babies, which I'm not as into. I guess there's a lot of babies, to be honest. Togepi is pretty cute too. I guess Togepi can go into A as well. But yeah, Pichu is just an adorable little better version of Pikachu. It's adorable. I think it's in Smash Bros as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it looks very clumsy. It looks very derpy. I've no complaints with this design. As for Igglytuff, which I always forget the name of, and Cleffa, they're fine. You know, I've not got too many bad things to say about them, but I also don't have any positive things to say about them. It's just fine. They're cuter than their, you know, evolutions, but yeah, I don't feel as strongly for these as I do for these babies. The shell on Togepi, I do think, is really adorable looking. It's such an iconic mon, and I'm probably biased because I really like it in the anime, and its evolution, Togekiss, probably is also an A tier. Maybe this is B tier, but for now we'll keep it in A. It's cute, you know, and then I think Togetich is fine. It's a mid-evolution, so it's not as cool as Togekiss and Togepi conceptually, but I just feel like Togepi, although it's not like a strong mon, it's like really weak. Conceptually, like the mons which like have to evolve are, I feel like they're interesting and memorable. Yeah, Togetich, its design is really appealing, you know. It's very simple, but it's also kind of like, it reminds me of an angel or something, you know. It's cool, and this is just a mid-evolution, so it gets better, you know. It's good. Natu and Xatu. Natu and Xatu, I don't know these ones I don't have too strong of an opinion on them. I do think they're better than Ladybug. What are these, psychic types? It's like a little baby bird. I don't know, it's like a Native American culture thing, which I'm not too familiar with, like the lore behind them, so I don't know what else to say about these, but design wise they're okay. I just find them kind of bland looking. I don't know much about them, and I kind of forget their names sometimes too. I think I do prefer the designs to the Croconaw and stuff, so we'll put them at the top of D for now. We'll get into my S tier. I really like Mareep. I don't know why I like Mareep so much, but I think I read the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is like the inspiration, and that's probably why it's so high for me. But yeah, I think it's a cool, you know, it's a very cute and appealing design. I have no complaints about Mareep. It's cute. Fluffy is it's a fine evolution. It's less appealing than Mareep, but I feel like its color scheme really works. I feel like it's very memorable for me, at least. It does look like it's shiny, and its shiny just turns its clouds white or its wool white, which isn't as appealing. But yeah, I do think the electric types are really good in Gen 2. Usually I don't like many electric types, so I really respect Gen 2's Lantern and Mareep evolution line. I think these two are supposed to represent lighthouses too, which is awesome, you know. It's a memorable and unique aesthetic, which I value quite highly. Okay, Blossom. Blossom is Bellossom, the evolution of Bloom. Yeah, Blossom, I really like its design. Using a sunstone on it and turning it into like a almost hula dancer, like summery vibes thing. It's really cool concept. I already like the evolution line. I really like Oddish. Gloom is really ugly, but I quite like Vileplume too. But Blossom is a really good addition, and I do prefer it to Bayleaf as well. Marill, I really like Marill. I think its design is very cutesy and appealing and fun. The baby version in a future generation is really cute too. But this Azurill, I really don't like it. It's kind of goofy looking. It looks more like an egg to me, and I don't know. I don't have too much strong about it, but it's a bubble. It's a bubble Pokemon, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a water balloon for Mario, and then Azurill is what, like a water rabbit or something? I don't know. Very strange. I guess it's like an Easter one because it's an egg and a bunny or something. I don't know. I'm moving on. I don't know what else to say. Pseudo-Wudo, I really don't like its design. It's a tree that's actually a rock type. It's like, you know, it's a unique and memorable and goofy mon, but I think it's kind of ugly, so it's just gonna be in D tier. Politoed is just like bottom of C. I think it's a way worse design than Poliwhirl and Poliwag, but it's fine. It's not like really bad. It's just, you know, not a strong or memorable mon for me. Hoppip, for some reason I really like Hoppip, and I don't know what's wrong with me to make this an A tier mon, but I don't know, I think its sprite looks really good, its colors pop, and as a grass type, it being like a dandelion fluff or whatever it's supposed to be, is really good. But Skiploom I really just don't like. I think this is the actual dandelion, but visually it's just much less appealing. I guess I just prefer my reds to my greens or something. Yeah, I do think it's still fine. And then Jumpluff is like in the middle for me. If I really like Hoppip and I don't like Skiploom, Jumpluff as an evolution is fine. It's, you know, still cute and fluffy looking, but yeah, I don't know, it's way less memorable. It kind of looks like an Oddish evolution or a blueberry or something with pollen around it. I don't know what else to say. Apom can go into C tier too. I'm sure we'll reorder these as I you know, get frustrated with how it looks, but I'm not sure how to order them. Apom is fine. I think it's, you know, centric levels. It's kind of a creepy monkey, and it's very like cheeky looking, I guess. Like a Curious George or something. But yeah, the hand towel is pretty memorable, but I've never used it on a playthrough. It's better than some of the Gen 1 normal types, but yeah, I don't know. It's very mischievous looking. Anyway, Songkan, I don't have too much of a strong opinion about it. It's just like it's like a sapling, you know. I don't like it visually. It's unappealing. And then some Flora for some reason gives me some sort of trauma looking at it. I don't like it. Its face on a sunflower looks really weird for being a Pokemon. Maybe it doesn't actually deserve to be an F, but I for some reason hate this Pokemon. Yanma is, you know, it's a cool bug type. I don't usually like bug types, but Yanma is pretty well designed. I think the bug types in Gen 2 are super fine. I'm so fine with them, but I don't have too strong of opinion. I will say that Yanma is a Pokemon that I do struggle to remember its name on, so I do have to struggle for, like, which one is this again? Same with Ariados, to be honest. But yeah, I think the bug types in this generation are fine. I just never really like bug types that much. Wooper is on level with Maro, probably higher than Maro, but yeah, just cute little water types that I wouldn't use too frequently, but I really respect their designs. It's very cute. Quagsire, I don't like it. I really don't. I think it's even worse than Azurill. It's very derpy looking, and that's obviously intentional, but it's not what I go for in Pokemon, so we'll just put it in D and move on. Espeon. Espeon is a very, very well designed mon. I believe the lore is like a twin-tailed cat type thing, like a Nekomata or something in Japan, which I find interesting. I like learning about the design inspiration and stuff, and it definitely represents the psychic type. I will say that it does just kind of look like Mew, and I wish it was a different color. I wish it like did a better job representing the day. If it's like Umbreon's, you know, the moon and night, Espeon doesn't really represent the day for me. It just kind of looks like a Mew, but its design is very cute. I will say that I saw a fan art of someone like fusing Umbreon and Espeon, and that looked so beautiful, and I wish that was a real Pokemon. I still think Espeon deserves to be an S tier. I also really like Leafeon, but I think all evolutions are beautiful looking, so it's hard to like decide between them. As for Umbreon, I think it's A tier. I think it's a very well designed mon, very memorable, very unique, but I just wish it was a little bit better. I think the shiny is the best. I love the once in a blue moon connotation of it being like, wow, it's shiny, it's blue. But I don't know, something about its ears or like simple design, I wish like it looked a little cuter. I also think in a playthrough I wouldn't really use Umbreon very frequently because it's kind of like a defensive Pokemon. I prefer to kind of go for special sweepers and stuff, but still pretty cool. Murkrow can go in top of B tier, I think. I think it's a cool design. It's just a witch hat crow thing, you know, the design's good. Yeah, it's like it's a cool blend of like it's, you know, a crow and then also have like a witch hat design on it. It's cool, you know. I gotta respect Murkrow. But I do prefer other dark types. Slowking is not a good design. I don't like Slowking. I think it does deserve F for me, and I don't know if that's too harsh. But I didn't like Slowpoke, I didn't like Slowbro, and Slowking just looks like gimmicky. Its scarf looks weird, its weird crown shell thing, I don't know what's going on basically. Just not my personal taste. Mischievous, or Mischievous, or however you want to pronounce it, I really love this Pokemon. I think its future evolution, Mismagius, is a little worse, and I think in Gen 9 she gets like a prehistoric form called Fluttermane or something. I really like that Pokemon too. But yeah, I don't know, I've always liked Mischievous. However, I will say that in a lot of Pokemon, that she's always like the region locked Pokemon, and it's very sad the amount of times that I've gotten the wrong game and not being able to use Mischievous. But I really like ghost types, and her design's really cute and playful. As for Unknown, I really don't feel strongly about Unknown. I think Unknown is, you know, it's characters of an alphabet. How do I feel about an alphabet? I don't know. It's unknown how I rank this Pokemon. But yeah, I don't know. I do like, no, I can't even say I respect its design that much. It's just C tier. Wobbuffet is obviously very memorable from the anime. I think Team Rocket uses Wobbuffet, so I sort of have a disdain towards it. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of just looks annoying. I can't tell if it's worst. I think I'm gonna do this. I think Azurill is better than Wobbuffet. I also struggle to spell Wobbuffet correctly, so it's even lower. Girafarig. How do I feel about Girafarig? I think, you know, the split design is very unique and interesting. I do think the evolution of the ferret, I cannot pronounce the names, but I do think it's a cool and fun design, even if it's not too visually appealing. The idea of having like two back ends or something, it's unique and it's memorable, even if it's not the greatest. I also think normal and psychic is not used very often, so I respect it for that. Pineco and Forretress, I really dislike these Pokemon too. Maybe not as much as the others in this list. For some reason there's like some military themed things and I don't really get it. Like the Pinecone I get, and then what is this supposed to be, a grenade and like a fortress? I don't understand. As for Dunsparce, Dunsparce is very memorable, but it's very like goofy looking. I think it's fine just in C tier. It's like a chubby, weird looking, it's kind of too absurd for me, but it's not a bad design Pokemon. It's probably worse than these other bug types though. Okay, Gligar is a bat and a scorpion. I don't know why I said it like that. It's a bat and a scorpion. I don't like it. Its design looks stupid, but I do think it's an interesting ground type, and I kind of wish I liked it more, but something about it is like holding its back. I don't know if the color's off-putting for me. It's like a weird shade of purple, or its face, or something about it. But conceptually, I like that they've randomly fused a bat and a scorpion and turned it into Pokemon. But yeah, it's just not for me. Steelix, the evolution of Onix. I think it's a really good evolution. I think Onix looked very goofy looking, and Steelix kind of looks more badass, which is respectable. But yeah, I just still never would use this Pokemon, so I'm just gonna put it in D tier anyway. Oh lord, I hate these Pokemon so much that I struggle to remember their names. But Snubbull and Gramble, the bulldog Pokemon. I hate these grumpy looking dudes. I don't know why they exist. I kind of try and delete them from my memory. I like to pretend they weren't added to the game. Yeah, just really not into these designs at all. Quillfish can go into C tier. I don't feel strongly about it. It's like on par with Politoed. I think Sizzle is a really good mon. I think it's like Crobat level. B tier is fine for it. I think Bug and Steel is like a cool typing. I think it's a trade evolution, which kind of sucks, but I do think it's a really cool design. I think the red is such like an iconic, beautiful looking color. It really like makes it stand out, and it's just cool. I don't know what else to say. And now I have Shuckle, and I don't know how I feel about Shuckle. It's just kind of a goofy looking Pokemon. I'll put like something like this, but it's like the bottom of C tier. It's a very defensive dude. I don't really understand it. It's like a worm with shells and stuff. I don't know too much about its design, but yeah, I think it's Duns Pass levels. I don't know which one I prefer, so we'll keep it like this. Heracross, I think is better than Shuckle. It is. I think it reminds me of there's a Genshin quest about it. It's the Kabuto Mushi or something, like the Japanese rhino beetles that fight each other. It's like a childhood thing in Japan, and I think that's really cool. I respect that design. I love learning about these kind of things, but yeah, for me it doesn't appeal to me. I think someone I know really likes Heracross, which makes me like it less, because I think it's just kind of a beetle. Yeah, I still like Heracross, but it's just not for me. Oh, Sneasel. I really like Sneasel. So Sneasel is like a cool like a sickle weasel, right? Which is, I believe, Kamaitachi or something in Japan. I don't know. For some reason, I'm super weeby these days and like learning about the lore of Pokemon. But it's like a winter stealth assassin, dark and ice type. I really like this Pokemon. I think I would prefer using it to Umbreon, but I do think Umbreon's got like a more iconic and memorable design. So this one's just, I don't know, all of the A tiers are really cute and appealing to me. So I really like Sneasel. I hate Sneaseler in the later gens, but no, Sneasel's cool. I think it's better than Weavile as well, or like visually it's better for sure. I also think in games like this, I use this as my fighting types. I don't really like using like Hitmontops or anything. Teddy Ursa can go like bottom of B tier. I think it's a cute little baby bear cub, and I like the moon design and stuff. And then Ursa Ring being like the protector is really cute, like the little the mama bear with the full moon and stuff. I think it's cool. Oh lord, how do I feel about Slugma? I think Slugma is kind of memorable with this design, at least. I think Slugma can go into C tier, but I do think Magcargo can go into D. I really don't like Magcargo as much. I heard the Pokédex entry for Magcargo is like it's hotter than the sun or something crazy, but Slugma is just kind of derpy looking, and I kind of respect it. Swinub is little, you know, it's a little ice pig. I don't know what else to say. It's cute. It's look at that little nose. It's a sleepy looking fella. Yeah, it's very simple design, but I kind of like it. It looks very sleepy, and I'm a very sleepy dude, so I can respect it, I guess. Yeah, Swinub's pretty cool, but I do think Pillow-Swine I really don't like. I don't think it's F tier, because its design is at least memorable and unique and stuff. But yeah, I really don't like this mom. It looks kind of really silly looking, very like bad Faraday type energy, and I don't like it. Corsola, I think, is a very cool design. I would put it like here on levels with Hoppip. Corsola's cool. I don't usually like rock types, but I feel like the pink on white looks really good. It's like a coral design. It's just good. It's very appealing visually. Oh lord. Remoraid and Octillery. I hate these Pokemon, to be honest. I think in the original sprites it was supposed to look like a gun and a tank or something, and they removed that probably because some sort of like political reasons, or like it's a kid's game so you shouldn't have a gun in it or something. So yeah, I don't know, I just think it looks kind of stupid now. The fact that this fish evolves into this octopus makes no sense in my brain, and like I think visually it doesn't look appealing. Delibird. I think Delibird is, I don't know. It's a Santa penguin. I don't know, man. I really don't like its design either. There's a lot of weird designs in this generation, but like I can't hate it too harshly. I feel like I didn't say anything about Quillfish. Quillfish is just a pufferfish. If I didn't say anything about it, I'm sorry, but it's so forgettable apparently. Mantine or Mantine, I don't know how it's pronounced if I'm honest, but I really like Mantine. I think it's cute. I think it's a cool design. Yeah, I like the manta ray design is very, you know, simple. It's cute. I think that there's a symbiosis between Remoraid, and I think it's cool. It reminds me of Finding Nemo. Yeah, I think it's a very simple design, but I feel like it's executed well. So Mantine gets into A tier. Okay, Skarmory I think is pretty high up there for me. It's a high ranking B tier. It's a steel flying type, and I think Corviknight would be A tier and this would be B tier. Houndour for me is just like somewhere in C tier above Girafarig or something. It's just a Hellhound, right? A Dark and Fire type. It's good, it's fine, it's memorable, but it's not great. I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with Houndoom's design, I just kind of don't care about it for some reason, so I'm putting it in D tier. Kingdra is probably like B tier, somewhere around like Totodile levels. I think it turning into a dragon type is pretty cool, like a water dragon. I like Horsey, I like Seadra, I like Kingdra. I do think it's the weakest out of the evolution line in terms of like design inspiration, but it's still kind of elegant looking. Fanfi I think is like a very cute design, probably like Hoot levels maybe. It's a cute little baby elephant, you know. I can't really say negative things about him. Donphan, I don't know if it's probably like low B or high C. Donphan is very cool. I don't usually like ground types too much, but I do think like it's an evolved rhino elephant with a tire design, you know. It's like, you gotta respect it for being so unique, honestly. I do think Porygon 2 is a very cute design. I prefer it to Porygon, and then it's like an enhanced version. It's, I don't know, it kind of looks like a little baby duck, and it's like a software update or something. I don't know. Stantler is fine. I don't feel too strongly about Stantler. It's probably just like, yeah, Stantler is fine. It's just kind of a deer with antlers or whatever. Smeargle I think is just fine as well. I think it's an ugly looking sheep. I much prefer Mareep, but it's kind of memorable because the paintbrush, you know, and it's very annoying and competitive, I've heard. So, oh lord, Tyrogue. I'm not too fond of Tyrogue. I think it's a very ugly Pokemon. Okay, well Hitmontop I think is just like bottom of C tier for me. I think that the fact it's upside down is pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's worse than Heracross, then I would use Sneasel instead. Oh lord, Smoochum is such a bad design Pokemon. I hate Smoochum. For some reason it's such a kickable design. I hate this Pokemon for some reason. Elekid and Magby, the kid forms of Electabuzz and Magmar. I think, you know, they're better than Smoochum, but I hate all of these Pokemon quite a lot, to be honest. Miltank can go into C tier. I think it's like Smeargle levels for me. It's kind of gimmicky, but it's also memorable. It's just like a pink, you know, milk. It's just like a pink cow with, you know, a weird sitting down pose. I think it's fine. I think it's like a tanky it's a tanky cow. Blissey I think is fine. It's the evolution of Chansey, and I think Chansey was an ugly design. Blissey is just like a slightly better version of Chansey. As for the legendaries of this generation, I would probably put them both in C. I think this is supposed to represent fire and this is supposed to be lightning, but it kind of doesn't do that. Well, Suicune goes into S tier. I really like Suicune. I think it's the water version of Entei and Raikou. So this one's like sort of elegant and pretty looking, whereas these two just kind of, I don't know, they don't stand out as much to me, but I do think that like the primal beasts are a cool legendary line. I always forget which names are which, but Tyranitar and its evolution line, Larvitar, Pupitar, I don't know which one's which, but I will say that they are an interesting concept. Yeah, I think it's kind of all in C tier for me. I don't feel too strongly about Tyranitar. It's the pseudo-legendary of this game. What is it, a rock and ground type? I don't know. It's just like a dragon-y dude, but it's not a dragon type, so I don't know. Okay, Ho-Oh, I think, goes in D tier. I don't really like its design. It kind of looks like it's doing too much, and it also just looks like Fearow, but with like a better color scheme. It's kind of ugly looking. I would never use it. Whereas I think Lugia is really cool looking. Probably like here, like after Ampharos. Yeah, I think Lugia and Suicune are some of my favorite legendaries out of all of the games. Celebi is the mythic. I think Celebi is fine. It's just like Hoppip levels. I think it's below Hoppip for some reason. Celebi is a cute mythical. I really like these two as legendaries, and Suicune is really cool too. But yeah, once again, I won't be doing the mega evolutions, but I think this tier list is pretty accurate. These are my favorites. There's not many favorites, and I feel like there's a lot of like C's and D's, and you know, a lot of the middle of the pack this generation. It's a pretty good generation. Some well designed mons. But yeah, I've been Shhyonara. This has been Johto Pokémon tier list. Okay, goodbye.